A big area for improvement across all skill levels is the transition, and that's the topic of today's swing review. Mike Renato, and we're with Robert Merrill today. And we're going to take a look at one of Robert's pro students. And Robert's going to share what they've been working on, and then we'll kind of relate that to how it can help you in your game, because this is something that we see all the time. All right, Robert, I know you wanted to talk about kind of this late backswing, early downswing part. So what have you guys been working on?
Well, and we see this really often from good players to bad players, but the glaring mistake with this player was a late shift to the left leg with his pressure, and you could see this a whole lot with his kind of how he released the club, what his intentions were, and so we've basically spent since day one, since he hired me, we've spent most of our time helping him sort through getting left earlier, and it's really helped him flight the ball a little better, and it's done. There's been a whole lot of good stuff to come from it with his angle of attack and all that stuff.
We've got his gears avatar here from one of his gear swings, and then we put his pressure trace, pressure stuff up here in the right-hand corner, and then his force is down here below it. So we really got the whole thing here. This is how we like to work. Leave little to chance as far as video goes when we get the opportunity in the warehouse to kind of get all this information. And so basically what you're saying is to get him left earlier, you got him right earlier.
Yeah, that's it in a nutshell. That's the easiest way to say it. So if you stop it at about lead arm parallel on the way back.
Right in through here.
Somewhere right in there is a pretty good spot. So he's about, what is that, 80, 84, somewhere in there?
82. I think he gets to 84 right here.
Right. So from day one, he got to 84-ish, 80 to 85, right. He just didn't get there until about the end of his backswing.
Up in here.
Yeah. So I've had this player feel like it feels really familiar to him in his feet. It's just relative to where the arms and club are, it's just a different spot. Mm-hmm. So I've had him feel like, I need you to feel all the way right or all the way away from the target when the club and the hands are the furthest away from the target. And something as simple as that kind of reset his timing and gave him somewhere to get left from.
Right.
So it's you got to get right early to get left early. It's kind of the best way to word it.
Absolutely. And it's, there's I think a misunderstanding, especially when we have some of our amateur clients in that we're helping. And no one likes a late lateral slide while they're hitting the golf ball, right?
Yeah, you get those saggy legs.
The ball, the saggy legs, all that stuff. The ball goes nowhere. Club face is brutally hard to control.
Right.
So it's gotten popular, I think, with a lot of golfers that we see. Okay, so I don't want to slide laterally. I'm just going to hang back on this back foot. Mm-hmm. And then right before the ball, I know I'm supposed to be left, so I'm just somehow going to get over there. That actually produces the look that nobody wants. Right? That's that late shuffle to the left.
Fair enough. It's you're leaving speed and consistency on the table when you try to deliver the club from hanging back on your right foot.
Right.
I don't know how else to say it.
Well, the practical reason why, I can get into a lot of the physics why, but the practical reason why, right here when he's 72% on his front foot, is when his left arm is parallel in the downswing. And it's kind of difficult to see with the gears camera angle that we're using, because we wanted to show you these yellow lines we'll talk about in a second.
Mike, just as a reference point, he was on almost every swing before we started working. He was 19 to 25. That was the most I was seeing from
on
this
his
player.
Left foot. Yes. So basically the mirror image opposite of this image.
Yeah, and I mean, he's a super talented guy. He's doing this for a living. His intention on top of that was he really wanted to swing left. He preferred to see a fade, a little lower fade, and from your right foot, you add on top of that, say, if you're delivering the club from your right foot, and then you add on top of it that you want to swing way left, you can actually swing way left from there, and it turned into the super steep, super left, super spinny shots. And
yeah, and that's a whole video in itself. That kind of overly swing left and what your body's
right.
going to do to try to accompany that. Yeah, that's a whole. I mean, that's not good either. But back to the point of why that's so difficult to do and why so many golfers look like they're moving too hard laterally, because they are, is that at this point in the downswing, when his left arm is parallel to the ground, club's still way above his head, these pro golfers, this guy in particular, has 0.08 seconds. That's faster than you'll be able to stop and start your stopwatch on your phone.
That's almost as fast as your brownie hand, Mike.
Yeah, it's almost. But there's no time to do all of that and deliver the club squarely and have the openness and the rotation that you need, all of those things. So it's getting a head start, which I love what you guys have done here, is we scroll him back up to the top. When the club's kind of changing directions, it's going so slow to change directions. And you notice that's when you've got him kind of drifting over there.
Yeah, this surf drift, this playing downhill concept that we've mentioned in some of the videos before. It's not a drive or a lunge or it's more of a passive coast, a fall
just
left.
Kind of recentering your body a little bit,
right
before all the madness starts, when the club head really starts to pick up speed.
I like to use. Most people have done a layup in their life, and I like to use the down part of a layup. You always kind of go down a little bit before you go up, but you're not working so hard to go down.
Yes.
It just kind of happens naturally.
A little bit of a fall, a little bit of a diagonal fall.
Right.
And yeah, he's doing this so well, and you can see how far forward it gets his pressure. So now we see this center of torso, this tall yellow line, which so many great players that we've recorded and measured data on actually get it in front of the pelvis. I think most amateur golfers don't understand that very well, or it certainly doesn't look like it on video, so they think they're going to shove the hips way forward to get that look, and it's just the opposite. You need some mass over there to kind of, like you said, kind of to passively get that pressure to the front foot, and he's not pushing off his back foot to do it.
When you look at the body superficially, or the outermost parts of the body, well, yeah, he's got maybe more surface area right of his upper body, right of the hips visually, but where the actual meat is, the mass,
right,
is ahead of the pelvis, and that's been a big. That's a natural thing for him to do. It was the shifting to the left to go underneath that's new for this player. He, I see a lot of amateurs keep their pressure too far on the back foot because they keep their upper body back. This player did it by keeping his lower body too far back. Mm-hmm. So he would end up pressuring that trail side, that right foot too long, almost to keep himself from falling over. So we gave this player the feel of keeping his shirt buttons on top of his belt buckle, and they go together to the left side.
It's a great feel, great visual image.
Sean's helped me a lot explain this. He'll use the tag on the back of your shirt as kind of, if that gets closer to the target before your belt buckle, you'll probably be in a pretty neutral spot.
Right.
And
again, this player isn't doing the shift, is what we call it, the bump or the recentering or whatever you want to say, to get this alignment here. When the arms really start to change direction and pick up speed, allows you to not have that lateral push late and slide through the ball. So I think a lot of golfers, when they hear shift early, move laterally, the alarm bells go off because they're so used to doing it through the shot. it should be done. And this is what, again, we've got, I mean, almost a little over $250 million in winnings of players demonstrating this exact move in our database. And it's done way up here at the top, so you don't do it. You can watch his lead leg. He's not sagging and sliding through. He's rotating through to deliver the club. That's when you want the rotation, not the slide.
Yeah, you're exactly right. What's fun for us as guys to get to work with all levels of players, what's so much fun when you have a guy at this level, he's obviously already very good. He knows how to score, he knows how to play, but he came to me saying, I know there's something that's keeping me, limited in what I can achieve because it doesn't feel the same every day. It doesn't feel right every day. I have to practice hours and hours and hours just to feel like I can find the golf course.
Yeah.
And a change or a concept that's pretty simple. I mean, this is something you do when you throw, when you punch somebody, or he was like, you got to be kidding me. This can't be all I have to do is drift over there soon. I have to get right early to get left early. Robert, is that all I really need to do? Like, you tell me, how are you hitting it now? And it's fun to see that light bulb go off.
Yeah, the more work, and that's real common that we hear, especially more talented amateurs, more of the pro clients that we help, is that something doesn't feel right. Their spidey senses are tingling. They know something's not right, but they've never really had a tangible way to kind of measure that.
Yeah.
And then when they get on the pressure plate or the 3D, more the pressure plate than the 3D with respect to this, like you can see it plain as day. And then you tweak the timing. You take less off their plate to do late in the downswing, and it just frees them up to be the golfers that they have all the talent to be.
Taking older players. So, I've got a couple of students that had similar patterns to this that just were dying to hit the ball further, and they'd spent the last 10 or 15 years trying to hit it further. They thought they were washed up. They were just too old, too inflexible.
Mm-hmm.
You just change their concept of, I'm going to have my mass and my pressure a little bit ahead of the club instead of keeping the club out in front of you. And they go, holy moly, I've got all this leverage on the club. Now I can sling that club head through the ball a whole lot faster.
I mean,
it's as much fun to see a player at that level have that light bulb as it is a guy who this might be the thing that gets him where he wants to be.
Well,
he's already played at a very, very high level.
I mean, you so hit the nail on you so hit the nail on the head. I mean, we've given some of our PGA Tour players, I think the one that stands out to me was 7 miles an hour of club head speed with the driver.
Yeah.
From this concept. And again, these are guys who are already highly efficient relative to the rest of the world in golf. And if you take a player who's a 10, 15, 20 handicap, who's grossly underutilizing his timing, and show him to this, you're going to get massive. I think our biggest gain that I can recall is somewhere in the neighborhood of 72 yards of carry.
Yeah.
By improving this in an amateur swing. I mean, it's such a for the concept and the time spent versus the production, it's really off the charts. When you see big improvements with pros, the AMs are even magnified more.
You can pick out, if you're at home watching golf tournaments on TV, watching the best do what they do, if you look for this is one that really stands out if you're looking for it. These elite players are so good at, getting their mass and pressure into a place where they can leverage the ground, leverage the club. And it's if you're looking for it, you'll see it. So
we would encourage you. Obviously, check out our Instagram because we have a ton of those little snippet videos, we'll call them, where on the backswing we look at left arm parallel, and on the downswing we look at left arm parallel to see how much Jack Nicklaus, Ben Hogan, Sam Snead, Jason Day, Dustin. I mean, you name the player, you're going to see Tiger Woods. you're going to see these guys moving in that early window, and then they're so stable delivering the club head. I mean, you look at Jack swing through that lens. I think it was the last one we did.
Yeah.
You know, there's reason those guys are special.
And it sometimes it sounds too simple, but you got to get right early to get left early.
It's just rewinding the clock a little bit. Do less late, do a little more early, and you're really going to see a benefit in your swing. Robert, man, thanks for doing this.
Yeah, of course, happy to.
Absolutely. We want to do a ton of these going forward, and we want to do them with your swings. You guys in the audience, whoever's watching this video, we want to relate these concepts to your golf swing. It's cool seeing these pros, how they do it, but it's really cool when we're able to show these swings, show these concepts to play with the amateurs watching this. And the way we're going to do that is we created an account, swings@athleticmotiongolf.com, where you can just email us your golf swing. We've got myself, Robert, Sean Webb, and Scott Hamilton, all tour coaches, all guys who worked with some really talented golfers that make us look better.
Mike, can I send mine in?
I've got 5 of them in the queue already. But we want to look at your guys' swing. We want to kind of relate these concepts to your specific swing. It's going to be so much easier to do than just in comments and whatnot. So send us your swings. If we use it, we'll probably send you some swag as a thank you. But send them, and we're going to try to do these quite often. Thank you for watching. Leave comments down below if the transition is something that you're working on in your game. If it is, grab your phone, grab your camera, film your swing, send it to us at swing@athleticmotiongolf.com. We'd love to take a look at it. If you haven't already done so, please click on the big golf ball. You'll get the next video just as soon as it comes out.